Your blood sugar is out of control. Stop what you are doing and listen now. Chew.
And pleased to welcome you from a whole bunch of places. This is the last. This guy. Separates. So we're going to go B. One, two, three. Hi, everybody on Zoom and YouTube. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst from Good Shepherd Ministries. Thank you for joining us for another Discoveries in Health, about to start in 9 minutes. Thank you for joining us. We're also over Uber Conference, which is now Dialpad Conference. And if you'd like to join us there by telephone, that number is 503-606-6064. And I do have time to grab a cup of water, and I better do that.
This call may be recorded or transcribed.
Thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. We're just getting started. About another 7 minutes, 6 minutes, and we will be underway. Okay. Well. It looks like we're all set up here. Let's go check and see if that ever populated. No, it never did. I can't see it. That's interesting. Why won't the messages appear? See, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this is working. No, it's not. What's that? Still not working. Speakers are not working. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Sound. Thank you for joining us. We're about 4 minutes away before starting the broadcast. That's not working. Is any of the speakers working? Sound should be down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Speakers. No, it doesn't like speakers. Not working. Try that. That's what it should be. 1 more minute. So that's what it shows. Let's get it to sync. Spatial. 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 That's what it is. So let's go back. Choose it should be looking. What? filling up. We can turn on sound here, camera. See the camera is supposed to be on. Let's get a video here. Okay, there we go. Should be already in. Let's see if it is. And thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst from Good Shepherd Ministries. And we talk about natural remedies here. We do that every Thursday, and we make an audio and a video on Zoom, on YouTube, and over Uber Conference, although the video doesn't seem to be working. Whoa, no, it doesn't seem to be working. Let's see if we can get back into the room here. That didn't. Brother Christopher Wright, I don't know. Somebody at least was able to call in. That's nice. It's, someone was able to call in. That's amazing. Let's see if we can get back into the room here. Folks, we lost our connection with Uber Conference, and we are going back into the room. And thank you on Zoom and YouTube for joining us for another Discoveries in Health, where we talk about natural remedies. We don't prescribe and we don't diagnose.
All may be recorded or transcribed.
And again, thank you very much for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, we simply discuss natural remedies. We don't sell products here. I don't sell anything. I used to sell natural remedies, and I invented 14,000 of them, and I sold them until 2010. And that's the last time I got a paycheck, earnings from my life's work of inventing natural remedies. Since then, and long before then, because I am an ordained minister and a certified bishop, and I am spirit-filled and spirit-led, and I knew 10 years before that I needed to do that, that I did that. And then in 2012, I proved I didn't get anything from the sale of any of the natural remedies that I invented, nor any other natural remedies as well. The government objected to my doing that, told me I was to stop helping people, and so I did. I obey the government, although sometimes those it brings into question as to whether you should be asking more questions when the government wants you to stop earning a living. But I didn't have a choice. I felt like I was compelled to do that, and I did it. And it looks like we've got an open microphone here, and I'm not. And it looks like we've got an open microphone, and maybe an open telephone call. I'm not sure what. Okay, let's go over here to the Uber conference room, where we can't get the camera. Well, maybe if the camera is working now again. Yes, who is this?
This is Chris Wright.
Chris Wright, and are you on the Uber conference?
Yes, I am now, but I'm also on YouTube. But I wanted to just ask a question today.
Yes, you have a question, a topic,
Yeah.
a suggestion. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that, but then I'm going to get over to Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama, and get an opening prayer before I open. I ask everybody to open their microphone and and suggest a topic. But since you're here, and what is the question, topic, or suggestion, sir?
Well, I was just going to ask about, you know, how in your hands you get like electrical fillings in your hands and fingertips and your
Yes.
joints when you move them.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that. See if we can
Okay.
talk about that today.
Okay, we're going to talk about sensations that you're feeling in the hands. It's kind of like almost as if you took some niacin and was getting a niacin flush, but you're talking about that. That's in numbness and tingling in the hands. We're going to talk about that, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. And looks like we're off and started, and everything is now working. Even the camera is working on my goodness, dial pad. And last week, Sonia asked us to talk about parasites, but we didn't have a chance to do that. And then also last week, someone said, I want to hear more about pinched nerves. So we're going to do that as well. So I just want you to know we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, we talk about these things. And we even talk about various products, you know, herbs, supplements that may be helpful to you, but we're not prescribing or diagnosing them. We're simply discussing topics here. And today, one of the topics will be about not only pinched nerves, but a tingling and numbing sensations in the hands and arms and so forth. We'll talk about that too. Now, what we need to do now is go over and visit with Prophet Elijah, which I was not able to get up on the dial pad telephone system on my computer, and I was not able to look at any suggestions that Prophet Elijah might have had, as well as today's verses that he has chosen to speak about. So I was not able to do that because my dial pad is not working so well, and I'm going to have to fix it after the broadcast. However, that's the dial pad telephone that's not working as well as it should. And now we need to go over and visit with Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama, at the Word of Life Ministry, where he will be able to give us an opening prayer. And we need to give you his telephone number so that you can find Prophet Elijah and call him up and pray with him as well. He has lots of people that pray with him, and it's a beautiful thing. So his telephone number is 334-868-3881. I actually remembered that. 334-868-3881 is his telephone number. Let's go visit with Prophet Elijah and get an opening prayer. We're over here in the dial pad conference room, and you can be there as well. The telephone number, if you'd like to join us, if you're on YouTube or Zoom and you'd like to join us and call and ask questions and make comments along the way, you're welcome to do that. The telephone number for the dial pad conference is 503-606-6064. And now we're over here with Prophet Elijah, and I'm going to give out his number one more time, just so we're not all confused. The Prophet Elijah's telephone number is 334-868-3881. Prophet Elijah, my dear brother, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How are you today?
Wow, I am blessed, and I know you're blessed contagiously, because everybody that talks to you, then they're blessed too. And I'm speaking with you, so I know I'm blessed as well, because you were so highly blessed. And what's on your mind? Can you give us an opening prayer? And then we'd like to talk about what is on your mind today, okay?
Great. Okay. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 29. For my most high God is indeed a consuming fire. This warfare prayer is based on the authority and the power of the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, the word of the Most High God, and the power of the Holy Spirit. The believer's authority, that's us, Dr. Berst and I, Prophet Elijah, is to pray to overcome and to drive out the powers of darkness. For the word of the Most High God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing as under of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Heavenly Father, we welcome you to Discoveries in Health, Good Shepherd Ministries, Better Health and Herbs, and Word of Life Ministries. Bless our humble abode. Fill us with your love today, and our land, the cities, towns, villages, communities, and homes with the light of your presence. We ask that you fight against them, that fight against us. Father, take hold of the shield and buckler and stand up for our help. Most High God, protect us from those who seek after our soul. Let those who turn back that devises our hurt. We know that the angel of the Most High will protect us. We know that our soul will be joyful in you. We will forever rejoice in our salvation. To the Most High God be all the glory. We therefore bind all inoperative words from our vocabulary, so be it.
So be it. Prophet Elijah, what's on your mind today, sir?
Well, what's on my mind today is for us to take back our health. So it is about taking back your health by the authority and the power invested in you. That's the spirit that's inside of you. So take back the power and authority over the enemy concerning your health. Doctors unknowingly speak curses into our lives. Yes, they have medical expertise, and we should value their input to a degree. However, we must never forget that Jesus is our greatest physician, and he can do what no medical doctor can do. But when Jesus heard it, he replied, those who are strong and well healthy have no need for a physician, but those who are weak and sick, Matthew 9 and 12. Jesus has said that it is finished. Now the final say is our healing belongs to you and I. When the doctor says you have cancer and there's no hope, says in the name of Jesus, I bind that and I loose, I will live and not die. When they say, I have never known anyone with your condition who recover, then you say, I will be the first. Jesus is the miracle working business. When they say you are just going to have to live with the pain, when you prophesy, pain be gone, you have no authority here. When they say there's nothing more we can do, say, I put all my trust in the Most High God, 100%, in whom all things are possible. When Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit, John 19 and 30. Thank the doctor for his concerns, but then go to the Most High God, I am that I am, in prayer, and acknowledge him as the source of your health and healing. When you receive your healing, speak to the Most High God and say out loud, I receive my healing in the name of Jesus. Father, I cry for the world healing from every country, continent, providence, even the utmost parts of the world. But you shall receive power, ability, efficiency, and might. And when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, you shall be my witness in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends, the very bounds of the earth. That is a clarion call of planetary healing and purification, a global resurrection of prayer and peace instead of chaos in mandatory if we are to continue to thrive in this earth. This is a call to all communities of the world. This is a call to our leaders and politicians and political, spiritual, educational, and business who have an even greater responsibility to purify, lest the people be led to mass destruction. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of the Most High God. We have come into the age when our cleansing is most urgent. Right now, according to how we will disrespect or respect nature in our body temple, we will experience total devastation and destruction, or total enlightenment and resurrection. From the global era to the personal era, there is evidence that the necessity for the purification of the soul, heart, mind, and body temple is at an all-time high. Creating me a clean heart, Most High God, and renew a right spirit in me. There is bloodshed due to wars. There is increased numbers of crimes in the street. There are homicides and overcrowded prisons. There are battered wives and abused and children. There are slow death and addiction and abuse of drugs and alcohol. There are suicides and mental health. There are the soaring numbers of cancer victims and many victims of the COVID-19 epidemic plague and the chemicals that are injected into the body. There is premature aging, heart attacks, hysterectomy, and decreed death due to lack of knowledge, and children born with age disease passed down through hereditary toxic parents and extremely polluted environment. With mental, spiritual, and physical breakdown everywhere, there is no choice but to purify. The rich, poor, the young, and the old must cleanse, provided we are going to rise above the diseases of the body, mind, and spirit. The earth is experiencing her discontent with how humankind has worked against natural laws. Ultimately, we have worked against ourselves. Our pure thoughts and acts of hate, racism, rage, envy, jealousy, depression, despair have led to the production of impure water, acid rain, floods, drought, devitalized soil, and poisonous air. Equally, our bodies are fueled with waste, worms, toxic, and poison. Mother Earth warns us with her earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, and hurricanes, and volcanic eruptions. Through fire and water, she is cleansing herself of all the filth, just as a woman cleans her womb of tumors from the fire of a living food and water cleansing. Nature and animals are taking back what rightfully belongs to them. We have been given stewardship, which we have abused. The whole creation is crying out. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes and divers places. The Most High God is speaking, saying, worry not, my children. Man does not control the destiny of this earth. I do. Refocus your eyes, follow my ways, follow my laws. I will set you free, says the Most High God. Put the plate and forks down for a time, and let us begin to fast from bondage and darkness into truth and light. Let us pray our way out of the chaos. Be they calm behind the storm, victorious for our lives and the lives of others through purification. Let us lubricate ourselves with disease and spiritual unrest. Peace can exist in this earth, but it must begin with us. We must use the Creator's tool to heal ourselves. The tools are fasting, praying, using herbal remedies, juices, fruit, and fresh air, sun-ripened food, and clean water. We need to keep our thoughts pure and clean, allowing righteousness to flow through our cells and DNA. There is a breathing pain in the lifestyle change. Before something is born, something must die. Before something is created, something must be destroyed. When you pray about a situation or condition, you will oftentimes find the things get worse before the answer comes. This is the cleansing process whereby the old state disintegrates, creates some pain and tribulation along the way, such as confusion, before the new can arrive. This is a good sign, as it indicates that a new state of mind is being born. It it is similar to spring cleaning the house. You created a lot of
Brought you
dust
some of the
during the
best
cleaning
tacos in the
process.
world.
Then it is settled down. All these things are the beginning and sorrow. This is what we talked about today, Dr. Berst. So we got to take it back.
All praises to the Most High. Let's take it back. That's some very good advice. Let's take it back. Prophet Elijah, did you have anything more to share before we go and open the microphones today?
No, I haven't been to share, but you mentioned about the topic that I had last week. We didn't get to hypertension, so that would be the last one that we missed last week.
Hypertension. Got it.
The hypertension.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. All right, sir. Thank you very much. And folks, please know that Prophet Elijah will be joining us for a closing prayer at the end of the broadcast, as well as everyone is invited to comment, make suggestions along the way. Just to let us know your thoughts, and if you would have a comment or a suggestion or a topic that you would like us to talk about, let's go to the microphones right now. Open up all the microphones and ask folks, if you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion, please to open your microphone, press your star key 2 times on your telephone. I'm looking at all the people in the room at this moment, and I don't see any microphones coming open over there in dial pad. We already have plenty of topics, so let's get started. And so let's go ahead and start with high blood pressure, hypertension. Let's take a look at that. So we go over to the website. herbalhealthreview.com. And when we're on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, then we click on common conditions. And when we're on common conditions, then we let's go over there on dial pad, and we'll go to common conditions. I'm on common conditions here on YouTube and Zoom. We're going to the common conditions. Now on dial pad, that has come up, and we're going over to hypertension or high blood pressure. We're making a video, and so you're going to be able to follow with me on what we do for hypertension. What we do for hypertension, well, here we go. I'm over here now on YouTube and Zoom, and I'm bringing up the hypertension report on herbalhealthreview.com. So I'm on the website, herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm clicking on high blood pressure. High blood pressure, it is a popular issue among a lot of Americans across the country. I get asked about it almost every day. And again, I'm not prescribing or diagnosing. We're discussing a topic. The topic is high blood pressure. And it's very popular among a lot of Americans all across America. The fast lifestyle of fast food, soda, and stress. And then you couple that with, COVID and so forth. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of stress. People in lockdowns, people who are afraid of the jab, and as they should be. We need to question everything always. There's no such thing as a bad question, although you get a lot of bad answers. But we need to keep questioning things And the jab is one of them. And so far, the information we're getting about the jab is that it is causing more harm than it does good. So, and evil in high places is doing their thing at this time. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress. There's more stress right now. There's stress in our schools. Our kids are stressed out. The suicide rate is up. The drug use is up. The alcohol use is up. All kinds of bad things are happening because of chaos and stress, and high blood pressure is right there with it, because when you get all stressed out and your diet isn't perfect, you wind up with high blood pressure. There's there's an estimated 1 in every 3 people that you meet in America, 1 in every 3 has high blood pressure. This puts and what's going on right now with all the the financial stress, the food shortage stress, the fact that credit processing companies will not process your credit card, and they'll process it. Then the credit card processing companies keep the money. If you have a brick and mortar store, all of a sudden they keep your money, and they keep it for 3 months. They keep it for 6 months. They keep it as long as they want to. And then that's putting little businesses out of business, and that's stressful. So the credit card processors are doing very bad things to people right now. Small businesses, they're running them out of business because they hold their money, and you can't run a business when your credit card processing companies are continually holding up your funds. So there's some really bad things going on with money right now. That's stressful. All of these things lead to high blood pressure. And if you've already got high blood pressure, it only makes it worse. So, and then that puts these people at risk for heart disease, a stroke, and kidney disease. That's right. When you're looking at high blood pressure, you can't just look at high blood pressure. You got to look at the heart. You got to look at the liability of stroke. You got to know about coenzyme Q10 if you think you're going to have a stroke, or if you might have a stroke, or if you've had a stroke, you want 200 milligrams of CoQ10. So these are the things that we need to discuss. Our people perish for lack of knowledge, and evil in high places wants you to perish for lack of knowledge. And that's why there's a lot of things going on that are causing more chaos, more stress. That raises the hospital bills. That makes the pharmaceutical industry more wealthy, because of all this stress, and it's all over the place. Anybody who isn't stressed out doesn't realize what's going on. But that doesn't mean you should stay stressed out. You gotta understand that you're being stressed. Then you need to do something about it. You need to make sure you're protecting your heart. You're protecting yourself against stroke. You want to protect yourself against kidney disease. And when you do those, that's going to help you get over the high blood pressure. But as long as you don't address those issues and you're just working on high blood pressure alone, you're going to get some results, but you're not going to get the results that someone who's looking at the whole picture. You got to take care of everything. That's right. And that's how, and that's when you can get results that other people don't get because they're not looking at the whole picture. They're treating high blood pressure alone. And what happened there? No, wait a minute. Dismiss. Dismiss. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay. But it's not going to go away. Okay. I'm getting. No, I don't want to snooze. It's asking me, the Discoveries in Health discussion is asking me if I want to snooze. I keep saying no, but they're not letting me. They're not letting me get out of that program. Okay, and it's still coming back. Okay, nothing I can do about that, folks. We got a calendar here that don't want to quit. Interesting. I'm not going to snooze, so we're going to just leave that up there. Okay, there's always something going on with these computers. I'm always under attack by computers. It seems like on a daily basis, there's always some computer hack attack on my computer. But hey, we are overcomers. Anybody who believes in Jesus Christ is an overcomer. And I lean on that post all day long. I'm an overcomer. You know, we're talking about high blood pressure, and we're talking about the fact that you really need to look at the whole picture. You need to look at heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. And then when you do that and you're working on all of them at the same time, that's when people tell me that they are able to control their high blood pressure. And there are many foods and dietary factors that affect high blood pressure. And I'm going to make sure we're still here, and we are okay. And I'm going back over to the high blood pressure report. So what we're talking about here is that high blood pressure is a condition that is contributing $93.5 billion in healthcare services every year. That's it. It's a $93.5 billion healthcare cost in America. That's how serious high blood pressure is. And frankly, the pharmaceutical companies have their way of dealing with high blood pressure, and the natural remedy folks, they have their way of dealing with high blood pressure. And you know where my favor lies. Let's not use drugs unless we have to. God didn't make us to use drugs. We don't process drugs. They make an impact on our body. Then after a while, they mess up your hormones and you have a different problem they started out with. And sometimes 5 or 6 or 15 or 20 different problems occur because it messes up the dynamics of your physical health. And when it does that, things go out of whack. And it starts generally with the hormones, influencing every system in your body. So we got to get everything in balance. When it's out of balance, you can't, if you got 4 flat tires, you can't just fix 3 or 2 or 1. You got to fix all 4 flat tires. And that's what's got to happen here with high blood pressure. So first, let's change the diet and introduce proven and tried herbal natural remedies to help you get back to the healthy you without breaking your pocket and allowing you then to have a quality life. It's the quality of life. It's not how long you live, it's how well you live. That's right. It's how well you live. Now, many foods and dietary factors affect blood pressure. High sodium is usually the culprit with many people there, and they're not using the right kind of sodium to start with. If you're going to use salt, let's use Himalayan pink salt because it's loaded with minerals. And the reason it's pink is because it has some iron in it, especially for women. So they get that little extra amount of iron, and everybody needs natural iron as a mineral. And you're getting it with sodium. You want to make sure that you're not getting any extra sodium in any of your foods, and make sure the sodium you do get is loaded with minerals like that Himalayan pink salt. But sodium in the diet, it increases the blood pressure in some people. In some people, it doesn't. I can eat lots of sodium and it doesn't bother me at all. But you know, the less sodium you eat, the better blood pressure control you might have if you're sensitive to sodium. And if you're not, it's not going to make any difference. But sodium is one of the things that we want to be careful with. If there's high blood pressure, let's get the sodium out of the diet. Let's look on the side of the package. If it says there's salt in it, and don't eat packaged food anyway. Let's get whole, fresh foods. Let's look at that Make Lifestyle Changes diet system. That not only gives you meal plans and recipes and an acid alkaline food chart, but it gives you the unique herbs that you must have, like calcium and magnesium, like B12 and folic acid. It has all of those listed in there to make sure that you're energizing the body. You want to have a nutrient dense diet. You want to have lots of nutrients, so maybe if you're taking a little bit extra vitamin C, that's no big deal, because 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C is what you need per day. But if it agrees with you and you feel like it helps you with a tissue rebuilding and making you stronger, 3,000 twice a day is what most people need. They need double the amount that is the minimum for everyone. So nutrient dense diet will ensure that you're getting enough of everything. And most people aren't getting it. If you're living on the standard diet, you're not getting enough of a lot of things. So let's look at to make sure that you're not getting any extra sodium in the diet, and get into that Make Lifestyle Changes diet system, because it's going to be the road. It's going to be the road to health. It's going to be the platform you can stand on, because where we need to start is our diet. And if you've got a diet that's loaded with nutrients and that's easily digestible, and it has all these superfoods and super nutrients in the diet system, those are the people that are going to be very healthy and be able to overcome. We need to overcome because there's a lot to overcome. And you'll get no argument from anybody regarding that fact. There's a lot to overcome these days. Now, the common nutrients, the natural health experts have known for decades how powerful this vitamin that I'm going to talk about right now. It's the third thing listed in the Make Lifestyle Changes report, and it's vitamin D. And natural health experts have known that for decades how powerful vitamin D is for battling high blood pressure. The big pharmaceutical companies have, however, used endless resources and influence to bury any study that showed positive effects from vitamin D. Research recently published. Yes, research recently published on the Science journal, PLOS 1, revealed, however, conclusive proof that high blood pressure is caused, and they said cured. I don't say that. I can't say that. See, I can't say that. So I can't say that, although this report says cured, I can't say that because I'm not supposed to, you see. Our speech is restricted, our thought is restricted, our breathing is restricted with masks. You know, there's a lot of things that are restricted that are stressing people out. Now, so this study that was in the Science journal, PLOS 1, revealed, however, conclusive proof that high blood pressure is caused. And they say, I'm just quoting somebody, I'm not saying it, they said cured by one vitamin. And the research on mice recently published on online, excuse me, the research on mice recently looked at the connection between high blood pressure and vitamin D. D like David. Now, in the two-part study, there were 4 groups of mice were given specific diets. And the results, this resulted in a force in one part of the diet. In one part of the diet of this study, the mice were given vitamin D deficient and vitamin D sufficient diets. One diet had vitamin D, the other diet did not have vitamin D. In the second, in the second part of the study, they were further divided between high fat or a low fat diet. So we had vitamin D foods and vitamin D foods that had no vitamin D. And you had high fat and low fat diets. Now, the conclusion is that the mice that were in the vitamin D deficient groups were both high and low fat diets. Excuse me. Developed high blood pressure. I'm going to say it again. Mice that were in the vitamin D deficient groups, they didn't have enough vitamin D. Both high and low fat diets. Didn't matter. They didn't have enough vitamin D, they developed high blood pressure. The mice who were not vitamin D sufficient did not become hypertensive. It didn't matter if they received high or low fat diets. What's more, when the hypertensive high blood pressure mice from the deficient group then received sufficient levels of vitamin D, their blood pressure stabilized, and they were no longer showed signs of high blood pressure. Before the study, all researchers had to go on, all that the researchers had to go on was that there were correlative studies that had been criticized by pharmaceutical groups as not having irrefutable proof. This study ends that debate. That's irrefutable proof. But the pharmaceutical industry still is arguing that point, no matter. That it's costing them money. They're in the money business. They're not in the cure you business, get you well business. They're in the drug business. That's it. And these vaccines, you want to look at who the stockholders are, and you're going to find out, like in Pfizer, the stockholders is the government. Why are they wanting you to get a jab? Because they make money on every jab. They're stockholders. Walt Disney is a stockholder in Pfizer. The US Navy. I can go on and on and on and on. You get the picture. They're in business. They're getting a profit for every jab you get. So that's why you're going to get, that's why, and they, that should be under some question as well. Now you want to eat plenty of organic fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. Do not eat GMO food. See, and that's the Make Lifestyle Changes diet system that's going to build you up. And it's got vitamin D. And you know what the big secret on vitamin D? It isn't 1,000 milligrams or 500 milligrams of vitamin D and everything's going to be great and wonderful, because it won't. It's 50,000 IUs of vitamin D per day, once a day, 50,000 for 15 days. On the 16th day, drop back to 10,000 per day. And you want to do that at the beginning of fall and the beginning of spring. Beginning of fall, into spring, twice a year, every 6 months. Take a massive dose of vitamin D. Another study on vitamin D, it will slash the risk of cancer by 77%. Pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know that either. What's wrong with some of these pictures? So these are the things that we need to know. 1 in every 3 people's got high blood pressure because our people are perishing for lack of knowledge. So it goes on here to give you a diet, and all the things you should be eating in this report, a high blood pressure report. And then it even gives you some things to replace that sugar and artificial sweeteners. Don't use artificial sweeteners. You want stevia leaf as a single extract, or stevia leaf green powder, or a sweetener that used to be made from corn cobs. Now it's made from birch wood, and it's called xylitol, and it looks like sugar, it tastes like sugar, and it acts like sugar, and there's no sugar, zero sugar. Maybe a tiny bit in the wood could be detected, but that's it. There's no sugar in xylitol. Looks like sugar, tastes like sugar, acts like sugar, and hardens your teeth. It's loaded with minerals that harden your teeth. I use it in my natural replacement for toothpaste, for teeth, for brushing your teeth. And I made a solution of herbs and xylitol and colloidal silver water, which is absolutely fabulous for keeping your teeth healthy and having the sweetest, freshest breath possible. It's called Oral Care Refresh Brush or Rinse, and you'll find it under common conditions under teeth. Replace your toothpaste. Find something better. It's called Oral Care Refresh. But there it is, safe sweeteners. And you want to know about potassium iodide, and you want to make sure, and that's listed. That's listed in the report as well, in the Make Lifestyle Changes report, as well as the Nice Bones calcium and magnesium. Then, did you know that fiber? I made a special fiber, and here it is. It still exists. I don't get anything from it, but this is the formulation that I created 3 or 4 decades ago, called Truman Special Fiber with bentonite clay and green and super green foods. Lowers blood pressure and cholesterol. It binds up with all these things and heavy metals too. So blood pressure, we had to talk about that. And there are things here for the heart, things here to sop up and pull in all the toxins and heavy metals and cholesterol that's causing and aggravating high blood pressure. So it lowers blood pressure. A fiber, putting and how much should you take? Well, you want to take just enough to thicken the bowel movements. Every bowel movement should break up in a cloud when you flush the toilet. If it doesn't, it's too thick. So it should break up in a cloud. And if it doesn't, then and that's how much fiber you use, enough fiber to thicken up the bowel movement so that it breaks up in a cloud. And you use enough if you want to do a cleansing and you want something to make the bowel movement looser. If you want to clean the bloodstream at the same time and clean up the liver and everything else, then you'd use number 1078 CAC herbal liquid, which will, you take enough of that to make sure that your bowel movements are really loose. Then you take enough of the fiber to thicken them up, so you're creating a balance. Now you're cleaning the bloodstream with a liquid. And how much should you take? Well, you take enough. Start with a little bit, like a teaspoon, and maybe not more than 2 tablespoons of the 1078 CAC liquid. And if there's constipation, instead of the CAC 1078 liquid, then you would use, let's go over here to CACT, CACTEAY. We're over here on betterhealthherbs.com. They manufacture all these products. I don't get anything from it. So people, are worried that I might make something from it, but I do not have an income. The only income I have is your donation. If I don't get a donation, that's it. And that's it quite a few times in the last 60 years of doing this. Now, so we're talking about CAC-T, and I'm looking for CAC-T. Here it is. The CAC-T is number 4110. It's an herbal tea that gets rid of constipation and trains your bowel to go back to work again. That is a very good thing to know about when there's high blood pressure. Let's keep that bowel movement loose. Let's stay cleaned out. And if it's a constipation, use the tea. And if it's not constipation, use the liquid number 1078. The tea is number 4110, 4110. And you can get it as a kit with either the CAC liquid with the bentonite clay, the fiber powder. You can get that kit as a kit and save extra money instead of buying them separately. I buy the kit, so I get an extra discount. And the kit is number 4486 for the the kit with the number 1078 and the 4837 fiber. Now that, then you get it as a kit and you can save money. You can, and so wait a minute, now it's doing that again. This is very interesting that it keeps doing that over here. And I'm going back over and check the dial pad room. And while I look at this notice that I'm getting from a calendar. Well, okay, I'm trying to dismiss it. Nope, it's going to come back anyway. Okay, so let's get back to high blood pressure. But I wanted to describe these cleansing kits and the fact that there are various herbal combinations. You could get a bottle of hawthorn, yarrow, cramp bark, valerian, and wood betony. That's a kind of those herbs, when you combine those together and take about 30 drops 3 times a day, or about 500 milligrams 3 times a day of hawthorn, berries, yarrow herb, cramp bark, and valerian root, and wood betony. Those herbs, when you combine those together, that will help when there is high blood pressure associated with a headache. And if you've got heart palpitations, you might look at herbs like hawthorn berry, yarrow, cramp bark, valerian root, and motherwort. So these are things that could, be very, very helpful when we're talking about high blood pressure. So diet is very important. Making sure you're getting extra potassium, iodide, 99 milligrams in the morning, 99 milligrams in the evening, and that special fiber, and knowing that there are herbal teas that also help and can be very helpful. And so that's kind of mainly it for high blood pressure. There's coenzyme Q10, which is used for high blood pressure. Garlic is used for high blood pressure. There are herbs in a high blood pressure control kit. Here's a kit with a bunch of things together. One is a high blood pressure herbal formulation, number 1213, that could be helpful. And then there is the hawthorn berry is in this kit for the heart. And also there is a circulation support formulation to increase your circulation, which will help the heart. And then there's, so that's all in one kit. It's called a high blood pressure kit. And let's take a look at that high blood pressure kit. A high blood pressure kit is, it doesn't have a number, but when you go up on the website of Better Health Herbs, you just type in high, H-I-G-H. And we've got someone here in the room who just said hello. And I'm looking here, all the mics are closed at the moment, so that's okay. Let's get back to the high blood pressure report because we're almost done with that. And we got a lot more work to do. So flaxseed oil, coenzyme Q10, amino acids, milk thistle seed extract, all of these things, that CAC liquid, that fiber product, those are the things, a heart formula, a nerve formula, a circulation formula. They're all listed here in this high blood pressure report. And so these are things that may be helpful for you. And this is what we're discussing today is high blood pressure. And these are some of the things: vitamin C, zinc, B complex. Anybody with stress, nerve problems, 100 milligrams of B complex 2 to 3 times per day, morning, noon, and night. That the anti-stress vitamin is B complex. And so those are the kinds of things that we're talking about when we're talking about high blood pressure. And let us go on now to, because we needed to do that since last week. So now let's get over to pinched nerves. Let's talk about pinched nerves. Okay, so here we are, going to visit the topic of tingling pinched nerves. And here's what you need to know. A pinched nerve, well, a pinched nerve is a common source of pain. So when we're talking about that common source of pain, which is generally among the elderly, people who perform a lot of repetitive movements also can get a pinched nerve, and those with arthritis, and anyone struggling with obesity can get pinched nerves and numbness and tingling. Although they sometimes heal on their own, pinched nerves can cause significant disability and sometimes even permanent nerve damage when left untreated. You don't want to leave it untreated. Now, determining how many people actually have pinched nerves is very difficult since many people report symptoms that could be caused by another injury, or some people don't experience any symptoms that could be caused by another injury, and some people don't experience any symptoms at all. Many different factors can contribute to a pinched nerve, including past injuries, someone's level of exercise, age could be a factor, gender, and body weight. While there isn't just one single cause of pinched nerves, prevention seems to be very important. And conventional methods of treating pinched nerves usually include medications and surgery. However, research shows that non-surgical, more conservative treatments, including physical therapy, exercise, chiropractic adjustments, supplements, and rest, can also greatly help reduce pinched nerve pain. Pinched nerve pain. So also called compressed nerves. The label from a doctor, medical doctor, or chiropractor might be labeled compressed nerves. That's pinched nerves. Well, they are deep root nerves that have become inflamed and irritated due to experiencing an abnormal amount of pressure. Pressure can accumulate around a deep root nerve from surrounding tissue, bones, cartilage, muscles, or tendons that protrude outward or are damaged due to an injury or inflammatory condition. Now, nerves are responsible for sending important sensory information regarding well-being and perceived threats from our bodies to our brains. It's sending messages, letting us know that something's wrong. It's inflamed, it's hurt, it's out, it's painful. And So nerves are responsible for sending important sensory information regarding pain, well-being, perceived threats from our bodies to our brains, and vice versa. They're sending messages back and forth to each other. They're communicating. Major nerves travel from your brain through your spinal cord and down the center of your back, connecting to small series of nerves that stem off from your limbs, the arms and the legs, and elsewhere. A pinched nerve causes painful sensations in addition to things like pins or needles, and swelling because increased pressure changes the way nerves communicate. What are some of the common conditions that might cause pinched nerves? Well, these can include a herniated disc in the lower back, or a pinched pinched, it could be pinched near the neck. And one of the most troubling things about pinched nerves is that they usually don't just cause pain in one location. The pain spreads and radiates, for example, extending down to the legs or to the hands and to the shoulders. And it's actually coming from the neck. So causes: compression, increased pressure and stress on a root nerve is the primary cause of a pinched nerve, which interferes with normal signals regarding pain. There are several locations in the body where pinched nerves are common, and numerous reasons that someone might develop a pinched nerve. The causes of a pinched nerve can include a herniated disc caused by a disc tearing away or weakening, wear and tear associated with aging and inflammation, poor posture such as forward head posture, obesity, repetitive movements that wear down or irritate tissue, staying in one position for long periods of time, such as those related to someone's job or hobbies, injuries such as trauma, tears and sprains, and bone spurs, which narrow the spaces where nerves travel, and recovering and recovering from conditions. So injuries, such as traumas, tears, sprains, bone spurs, narrow spaces where the nerves travel, recovering from conditions or treatments that cause neuropathy, like diabetes, diabetic neuropathy. Then you want to find out about, you want to go into the diabetes report, and you want to look at diabetic neuropathy, which will cause pinched nerves. So if we were going into diabetes, or we're going to common conditions, and we're looking at the common condition report, and when we're looking at the common condition report, we go down to diabetes. Let's go down to diabetes and look at what diabetics use for neuropathy. And here we are, we see diabetes. Okay, let's go over here on this one and look under common conditions. And when we're on common conditions and it brings up the report and it brings up diabetes, then we're going down and we're looking at all the things that can be used that may be helpful for diabetes. And the thing that comes out at us is called alpha lipoic acid. So let's get down here and look at alpha lipoic acid, which is in the diabetes report. And so when you're looking at alpha lipoic acid, then alpha lipoic acid, this is what it's telling you about it in this research report. And it's telling us that alpha lipoic acid, also called ALA for short, this is a vitamin-like substance, neutralizes many types of free radicals. A buildup of free radicals is caused in part by high blood sugar and can lead to nerve damage and other problems. Alpha lipoic acid may also help muscle cells take up blood sugar. So that's how alpha lipoic acid works. And that's why we're looking at it and looking at the diabetes report. And we're going back now to what makes a pinched nerve different than a herniated disc or a slip disc. What's the difference? Well, for the most part, people use the terms herniated disc, bulging disc, slip disc, and pinched nerve or compressed nerve interchangeably. So one person is going to say, I got a slip disc. The next person can say, I got a herniated disc. Next person can say, I got a slip disc. Then you got a pinched disc or a compressed nerve. It's all the same thing. It can be hard to tell if a pinched nerve, actually it's hard to tell because a pinched nerve versus a herniated disc is the exact cause of your pain, numbness or tingling. But the good news is that both types of conditions are usually treated in similar ways. That's when we get back to the alpha lipoic acid and get some of that into the diet and get anti-inflammatories. There's an inflammation kit with all kinds of things for inflammation to reduce the inflammation. It's, like turmeric and boswellia, also called frankincense. See, all of these, there's so many things that we can do to increase the circulation and decrease the inflammation and work on neuropathy, et cetera. So there's all kinds of things that may be helpful here. Now, although these four different things here, they're closely related. They're all closely related. Herniated discs are not exactly the same as pinched nerves. Herniated disc and slip disc can contribute to pinched nerves because they cause tissue to protrude into a nearby nerve. Usually, so let's get over here. So usually they're the result of aging, degeneration, injuries, or various diseases that affect the nerves in the spine. These conditions cause spinal discs to open and expand, which can lead to fluid leaking out, worsened inflammation, and increased pressure. That being said, it's important to understand that the real causes of your pain in order to know how best to treat it, because there are various reasons you might have disc or nerve pain. It's different. It's important to work with your chiropractic doctor, your massage therapist, your herbal doctor, all of your doctors. You got to work with them to identify if the pain is at the site of the disc location itself, or if it's coming from a nearby irritated pinched nerve. Prior to taking medications or receiving adjustments, and definitely before undergoing surgery, you got to get an accurate diagnosis. That's crucial. So, so the things that can be caused of a pinched nerve: herniated disc, wear and tear associated with aging and inflammation, poor posture, obesity, repetitive movements that wear down and irritate tissue, recovering from conditions or treatments that cause neuropathy, including breast cancer and diabetes. And staying in one position for long periods of time, such as those related to someone's job or hobbies. Injuries such as trauma, tears and sprains, bone spurs, which narrow the spaces where the nerves travel, arthritis and degenerative joint diseases. And then you'd be wanting to look at the arthritis report, because there are all kinds of natural remedies that may be helpful with arthritis. So you have all these other reports that are related to pinched nerves. Symptoms. What does a pinched nerve feel like? Well, pain, nerve damage, irritation caused by a pinched nerve can sometimes be minor, but other times a pinched nerve can be possible symptoms for of a pinched nerve, such as tingling and shooting, pains to come and go temporarily, or become chronic problems. So what we're looking at here is these pinched nerves can sometimes be minor, other times severe. A pinched nerve such as tingling, shooting pains can come and go temporarily, or it can become chronic, become chronic problems like pain can occur in the cervical, the neck region, thoracic, upper region of the lumbar, or it could be the neck, a region which is thoracic, which is upper, or a region of or lumbar, which is lower spine. While in some cases, a pinched nerve pain goes away relatively quickly. In other rare cases, there are, that are left untreated, can lead to permanent nerve damage and chronic pain. And we don't want it to be permanent or chronic. Although the location of a pinched nerve determines the types of symptoms you feel, most pinched nerves have the following in common. And this following thing they have in common is tenderness and pain, and tenderness and pain and swelling, feelings of extra pressure. These are and some degree of scarring. You could have some scarring, and then you want to know about enzymes. If there's scarring tissue, you want to know about the enzymes that eat up scars. That's right, Japanese enzymes that eat up scar tissue. So there are enzymes available for those people with scarring difficulties. And let's see here, I'm gonna find where I am. Symptoms bench, symptom. Okay, here. Okay, too far down. Now, pinched nerve symptoms usually are located in one area rather than cause radicular, radicular, is radicular. That's radicular. What's radicular or radicular? It's radiating. It's a radiating pain. It's nerve root pain. And if it's causing radicular pain, that's nerve root pain that tends to spread from one body. It spreads from one body part to another. The word radiculopathy refers to a different variety of symptoms, including traveling pain. And it also will cause numbness and weakness. The symptoms of a pinched nerve in your neck or shoulder would generally include pain, numbness, tingling that radiates from your neck down. Goes down your upper back and shoulders or arms. This pain, numbness, and tickle and tingling. It's radiating from the neck down to your upper back, shoulders or arms. Symptoms might affect your elbows, your elbow, hand, wrist, or fingers. It's common for pain to get worse when you move. And type on a computer, or if you're typing on a computer a lot, or if you're lifting things a lot, then it's going to cause it to get worse. Now, you might experience pins or needles, inflammation, weakness, and pain associated with conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome, golfer's elbow, or tennis elbow. Your grip may become weak and your arm and hand might become stiff. Symptoms of a pinched nerve in your back include back pain radiating from your lower back down your legs. Pinched nerves are most common in the lower back because the lower back bears a high percentage of pressure and force. Burning sensations, tingling, heat, and weakness might be felt in the thighs, low back, or buttocks. Sometimes the pain might spread upward to your chest and neck. Pain likely gets worse if you exercise or after waking up from sleeping, when you are bending and walking. Conventional treatment. We're going to talk about conventional treatment in just a moment. Conventional treatment. To help make a diagnosis of a pinched nerve, your doctor will likely perform a physical exam, testing reflexes, tenderness and pain, assessment of your medical history, family history and injuries, tests for muscle strength or weakness, testing for signs of muscle atrophy, twitching, numbness, testing pain based on motion, touch, and pressure, testing joint dysfunction through moving your limbs and torso. Diagnostic tests including CT scan or MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI. Use all these kinds of things for testing to look at the disc, the alignment, and configuration. Once the location of your pain has been identified and a pinched nerve is diagnosed, conventional treatment might include pain relievers, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, are most commonly used medications. These include aspirin, ibuprofen, or naproxen. Sometimes doctors even prescribe strong narcotics for chronic nerve pain. They can help dull inflammation and pain, but long-term, they won't solve the pinched nerve and can cause side effects when used for long durations, like indigestion, for example. There's corticosteroids used for lowering swelling. There is microdiscectomy, spinal surgery. This removes part of the disc that's bulging out or other material that's irritating, a root nerve. It's a risky type of spine surgery that usually it's only effective for treating degenerative disc diseases. However, it doesn't always, whoops, get out of here. Okay. All right. So anyway, it's this kind of thing. It's a risky type of spine surgery, this micro discectomy, spinal surgery. This usually effective for treating degenerative disc diseases. However, it doesn't always address the real cause of pain associated with a pinched nerve. Surgery. This is what's medically available. Surgery to remove other material that's pressing on a nerve, such as scar tissue or bone. Natural treatments, well, you want to follow a collagen repair diet. Consume a diet high in natural resources or natural sources of collagen, which helps things like bone broth, this collagen from bone broth, which helps repair damaged connective tissue and adds cushion to spaces between the bones and joints, reducing friction and pressure. That's what this collagen will do. Collagen is the most abundant natural protein found within our bodies and an important building block of all tissue. Bone broth is one of the best suppliers of collagen, along with other beneficial nutrients, including glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid, and amino acids. Eating omega-3 foods such as wild caught fish like salmon and grass-fed beef, chia seeds, and flax seeds helps naturally control inflammation and reduce the effects of aging. I'll say that again. eating omega-3 foods, these omega-3 fatty acids that are in wild caught fish like salmon, grass-fed beef, chia seeds, and flax seeds helps naturally control inflammation and reduce the effects of aging. That's huge. You want to get even more antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds through organic vegetables, organic fruits, and herbs like turmeric, also called curcumin, turmeric root, garlic, and ginger. Put a lot of those in your diet. Just make sure you're getting a lot of turmeric, garlic, and ginger. These anti-inflammatory foods help slow the effects of aging by reducing oxidative stress and supply essential vitamins and minerals to help recover. Going to help you to recover. Now, again, we're getting back to these high fiber foods, like that number 4837 fiber that we talked about earlier. This will help control your appetite, and many of these high fiber foods supply important vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals. Obesity and excess weight can add pressure to nerves and make pain worse. So try limiting added sugar. That's what we talked earlier about xylitol and stevia being some of the greatest sweeteners that have no sugar, but they're very sweet. So you don't want any added sugar. Look at these packages. If it's got sugar this and sugar that, and most of them do. And they have sugar on there like 2 or 3 different times on some labels. You want to be careful of sweetened drinks, fried or packaged foods, and refined carbohydrates, refined sugars. You want to look at your posture. Posture correction exercises and treatment. A proper posture is crucial for helping take unwanted stress off of delicate joints, especially joints that have been injured or under increased pressure for a long time. And it's recommended that one sees an egoscue. They said that you should be seeing an egoscue posture therapist. An egoscue posture therapist. You should be seeing one of these types of therapists that is an EGOSCUE, egosco posture therapist. If you have bad posture, that's what you need to, maybe you need to go see a egoscue posture therapist, and or seeing a spinal correction chiropractic doctor to help target the spinal problem at its root. As sclerosis or spinal stenosis, such things as that, sclerosis and spinal stenosis, egoscue is a postural therapy protocol. And this protocol focuses on fixing musculoskeletal misalignment. A trained practitioner can help you restore proper posture for good and limit muscular compensations that might make your pain worse long term. It's also recommended in this report that doing exercise on your own. Once you're cleared to do exercise, that will help strengthen your core in order to take pressure off of your back and prevent low back pain, along with other exercises to improve your posture. Working with a physical therapist at first is a smart idea if you've been injured or are still healing. There is prolotherapy. Prolotherapy is a cutting edge form of regenerative medicine used to treat both acute and chronic injuries, and growing in popularity even among elite athletes. Prolotherapy has been shown to be beneficial for conditions that can compress root nerves, including bulging discs, arthritis, torn ligaments, tendonitis, joint pains in the neck, low back, knee, or shoulders. How does prolotherapy work? Platelet-rich plasma uses your body's own platelets and growth factors to heal damaged tissues by promoting a minor inflammatory response. Glucose, along with other active ingredients, are injected into the damaged tissue to recreate your body's own natural healing process. And in this case, inflammation helps to rebuild the damaged tissue. The anatomy of a pinched nerve. The anatomy of a pinched nerve. Well, there's several types of disorders affecting root nerves, which are commonly grouped together under the umbrella term pinched nerve. Okay, that's a pinched nerve. Well, what about a lumbar radiculopathy? Lumbar radiculopathy. Let's talk about that. It's located in the lower lumbar region of the spine. Most common place for pinched nerve to develop, since the back bears a lot of weight and stress. Now, there's cervical radiculopathy, and it's located, that would be cervical, would be located near your neck, causing nerve pain and numbness to travel outward, down the arms, upper back, or the chest, shoulders. It's traveling all over the place, the cervical radiculopathy. And then there's thoracic radiculopathy. And thoracic radiculopathy, it's the least common type of pinched nerve. The least common type of pinched nerve is thoracic radiculopathy. The effects of the root nerves of the middle section of the spine, called the thoracic region. Then there's sciatica. Oh, that is very painful. Sciatica, nerve pain, radiates down your lower back to one or both thighs and legs, mostly caused by herniated disc, in the lower back, considered a form of lumbar radiculopathy, causes painful, throbbing, stiffness, and tenderness in the lower back and limbs. Then there's soft tissue therapy. Soft tissue therapy, relieving tight muscles and trigger points can make a big difference in reducing joint stress. Consider the following soft tissue therapies to help treat the underlying causes of a pinched nerve. A trained practitioner in one of the following manipulative therapies can help turn on muscles that have been turned off due to injury and eliminate muscular pain. That's soft tissue therapy. Now, the author has worked with the active release technique practitioners for years to help the author overcome a number of muscle and joint related injuries. So soft tissue therapy. That's active release technique. Graston technique, dry needling, neurokinetic therapy are all used with soft tissue therapy. Active release technique, Graston technique, dry needling, and neurokinetic therapy. But what about the supplements? Most people are nutritionally bankrupt. Most people are nutritionally bankrupt. I'm going to say that again. Not just some people, but most people are nutritionally bankrupt, and their diets are very low in specific nutrients that support musculoskeletal healing. Therefore, taking some quality supplements can make a big difference in terms of recovery and pain reduction. In order to heal damaged tissue, you need nutrients that help reduce inflammation, support tissue repair, and increase growth factors. Some antioxidant compounds can also help support the body's own stem cell production and initiate tissue reconstruction. These are the kinds of supplements that I use: turmeric and ginger. I use a lot of turmeric and a lot of ginger all the time. When I'm cooking, you got to be chopping up some ginger root or ginger roots and turmeric roots or turmeric powder, ginger powder. They go on everything, anything that you're preparing. Soups, salads, whatever meals, turmeric and ginger. And bromelain, the center of the pineapple, is really going to help to get rid of that inflammation and pain. Omega-3 fatty acids. Bone broth contains type 2 collagen, glucosamine, and chondroitin, and hyaluronic acid to help aid tissue repair. That's why bone broth is so important. It's got all of this collagen ingredients, glucosamine, chondroitin, hyaluronic acid. These all aid in tissue repair. And bovine collagen, type 1 and type 3 collagen are also helpful. Antioxidant boosting compounds, including resveratrol, which I had a difficulty finding recently. I go to the health food stores and so forth, no resveratrol. But these are superfoods. Resveratrol is a superfood, and 1 or 2 daily is a good idea. Green tea. These are all fabulous immune system boosters. Medicinal mushrooms like cordyceps is another a great nutrient. All the berries, any kind of a berry extract, such as acai or goji. These are all super berries, rather expensive. And that's another thing. Everything's getting more expensive, and especially meat. So, you know, and people are having a real tough time making ends meet with this inflation and you know that is constantly coming at us because whoever's managing the budget isn't managing the budget. We know who that is. We need people to make sure that this inflation thing doesn't continue, but the way the system is working, it's not only going to continue, but it's going to get worse. And it looks like we may be in for the worst inflationary problem we've ever had in the history of the United States. Yeah, that's another thing people keep warning us about. So we got all these warnings of all this terrible things that are coming at us here in the end times that are upon us. Now, the anatomy of a pinched nerve. The anatomy of a pinched nerve. There are several types of disorders affecting root nerves, which are commonly grouped together under the umbrella term pinched nerves. We already talked about it, and we talked about each one of these. So we're not going to do it twice because we're on short time here. We have very little time left, and we're going to move through this. Let's talk about pinched nerve versus sciatica. Two different things. Leg pain that runs down the length of the leg from the lower back is usually referred to as sciatica or sciatic nerve pain. Sciatica is a type of pinched nerve pain that is the most common cause of sciatica is a herniated disc in the lower back. For this reason, many experts consider sciatica to be a form of lumbar radiculopathy. Sciatica causes painful throbbing, and this painful throbbing and stiffness and tenderness in the lower back and limbs, all coming from sciatica. And often the throbbing is reoccurring and felt in only one leg, although it can also be felt throughout the lower back and both legs simultaneously. Natural treatments for sciatic nerve pain include chiropractic adjustments. Chiropractic adjustments and stretching and yoga and massage therapy and acupuncture and exercise. Let's get to talk about some precautions. Precautions for some people. Pinched nerve pain will go away on its own within several weeks. Goodbye, pinched nerve. If you experience strong pain suddenly that doesn't respond to over-the-counter pain relievers, definitely make a trip to your doctor. Look out for signs of infections, such as a fever, chills, nausea. These signs can indicate a more serious nerve-related problem that should not be ignored. Depending on your condition, your doctor might also ask you to stop activities that cause or aggravate the compression and pain. Get your doctor's advice on whether or not rest, rest, maybe a splint or a brace might be needed to help immobilize the area while it heals. Final thoughts. Pinched nerves are compressed root nerves that cause radiating pain, tingling, numbness, and weakness. Sciatica, pain radiating along the sciatic nerve down the leg. Lumbar radiculopathy, cervical radiculopathy, and thoracic radiculopathy are the primary types of pinched nerves. Pinched nerve symptoms can be felt in the back and in the thighs, the shoulders, the wrists, the neck, or hands. That's all. Pinched nerves can be everywhere. Treatment for pinched nerves include active release technique and other soft tissue therapies, supplementation, exercise, and physical therapy, and a diet high in collagen with lots of bone broth. That's it. That's it for pinched nerves. And we got 9 minutes left here. And we got into the high blood pressure. We got the pinched nerves, but we did not get parasites. So we got to talk about parasites next week. And guess what? Over 90% of people on Earth have parasites. That's 9 out of 10 people that you ever meet have parasites. So it's serious. And there's all kinds of parasites. We're going to talk about parasites, all the types, and how to get rid of parasites. We're going to do that next week. But let's get over now to a prophet, Elijah. And let's go into the room here and look here. If anyone has a comment, a suggestion, or a topic before we close that we can briefly hit on, please open your microphone by pressing the star key 2 times if you're over in the dial pad room, the dial pad conference room. And if you have a question, topic, or a suggestion, please open that mic now. And I see a mic open and I'm looking for it. Hold on while I find it. I'm looking for it. And there it is over there in Illinois. Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Dr. Berst?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Yes. Hi, Dr. Berst. My name is Judy. I was wondering if you could hit on and cover a bit in this last, when you get a chance, on dysbiosis, how to correct that.
Dysbiosis?
Dysbiosis, and also if it has an impact on hormones, throwing your hormones off.
I'm not going to be able to cover that topic, but I want you to text me on my phone number and text me the spelling of that health disorder. I want to make sure and get it right. Okay.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
All right. My telephone number is 503-362-5899. You can text me. You can leave images. You can do that telephone number does everything. You can leave me messages, SMS and all that kind of stuff. It's all on 503-362-5899, or email me Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. My email is Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. And Prophet Elijah's telephone number, by the way, is 334-868-3881. Prophet Elijah's telephone number is 334-868-3881. And let's go over and visit with Prophet Elijah, and let's let's see what's over here. So kind of an action item I got to do. And I'm coming over here and I'm clicking on my action item. Then I'm going over to Prophet Elijah, where it is, description. I don't see it in the side panel. Was it something I was supposed to do, but it doesn't say what it is? Oh, I'll catch it next time. All right, so now let's get over to Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama, and get a closing prayer. Any comments? Then we're going to open up the microphones. And when we open up all the microphones at the same time, we're all going to be able to praise the Most High together. And I love to praise the Most High all day long. I love to do that. So we're going to do that right after we get this closing prayer from Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama. Are you there, brother Prophet Elijah?
Yes, sir, brother. I'm here.
You are there. Wow, we covered some stuff there. Do you have any comment regarding that?
Oh, yes. I think you did a thorough service to everybody that was listening.
Excellent.
Including myself.
That's what we want to do. Well, sir, in that case, could you please give us a closing prayer?
Yes, sir. For my yoke is wholesome, useful, good, not harsh, hard, sharp, oppressing, but comfortable, gracious, and pleasant. And my burden is light and easy to be borne. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Then let the healing begin. It is time to make a positive stance and begin to journey on the road of holistic wellness. Unleash your blessings and allow them to flow out freely from you to others. Father, teach your children how to be a blessing to others, and in turn, they shall bless themselves. Everyone is looking for a quick fix. There is no magic pill. Your condition is the result of choices you have made that led up to this point, and it helps to understand what caused the condition in this first place so you can make sure it does not happen again or continue to get worse. The answer to real health is not about simply adding something to what you are presently doing, but more importantly, what you take away. Health is medicine for your soul, body, mind, and spirit. Father, teach them how to forgive and how to offer thanksgiving, which are the keys to spiritual preparation for healing. As preparation, let us affirm together. Today, I forgive all the people, conditions, and circumstances that ever hurt me in this life and in my past. For in my forgiving, I begin the process of complete healing. The sickness within me is no more. Instead of holding on to anger, bitterness, or sadness, I offer it all up to the Most High God. Dr. Berst, I ask the Most High God to place a hedge of protection around you as he did with Job, so that you, Dr. Truman, and your family are protected. Praise you, Father. You have said in Deuteronomy 1:30 that you will fight for my friend. In Isaiah 26:3, that you will keep him in perfect peace because he keeps his mind on you and trusts in you. You are the peace that passes all understanding. Help him to be anxious for nothing and to think on the things that are true, honorable, right, pure, lovely, good, excellent, and anything worthy of praise. Allow him to draw near with confidence to your throne of grace, that he may receive mercy and find grace to help in every time of need. Father, allow him to claim all that of the above promises by faith. I know that you will only allow adversity in his life to strengthen his faith. Therefore, he would accept any test or trial that comes from you, Father, that way he will not have to be defeated by the enemy. In Jesus' name, I bind the power of Satan in his life, and I cast away any evil that attempts to come near him or his family. I lose peace that transcends all understanding. So be it. Were you blessed by Discoveries in Health Ministry? If so, tell someone you know who may be blessed also. Bless Dr. Berst in return. Pray about sowing into this ministry so Dr. Berst may be able to keep offering the information like he did today freely to many who was listening. Be ever so kind to let Dr. Berst know that his time is not used in vain, but show him your appreciation for all that he does, whether it is in word or financial support. A workman is worthy of his hire, which is 2 hours of his time each week. Bless him, and you shall be blessed in return. So be it.
So be it. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, Prophet Elijah. And my dear brother, let's go to those phones and open up the telephones here. Here we go. And we close that. And go over here. And closing this mic. And going over. Let's open the mics. Microphones here. All praises to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. Hi, Dr. Truman. Hi, Prophet Elijah.
Bless you.
All praises.
All praise to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High.
Shalom.